Hey, today I just wanted to do a casual review and discussion of what my experience at WealthCon was like. WealthCon is hosted by Ryan Pineda and that entire social media team, the real estate team, all the different branches of Ryan Pineda and his projects. And the event itself was really excellent. I did not think that I would enjoy it as much as I did. There was a variety of speakers, all of them incredibly experienced in their different fields. I think it was amazing seeing people who have never had a platform be offered one and have a chance to speak and tell about, in a way it was to advocate for Ryan's, products and his courses, but to actually, hear from these individuals who are trying to grow in the same direction as Ryan or any other entrepreneurs that they admire out there. I think this was a cool event. It met a lot of the needs for people that are at various levels of their entrepreneurship journey. So I'm definitely going to go again. I made a ton of friends. I did not expect to enjoy speaking with as many people as I did. I think that compared to my usual experience with conventions, when we're going, of course we want to make some new relationships. We want to get new leads. We want to get new referral partners. But depending on what meetup, what event you decide to participate in, the crowd's going to be different. The engagement, the attitude, the mindset is going to be different. So it was different. It was, we've been around in groups where it's, a lot of financial institutions. It's owners of financial institutions who have millions of dollars, billions of dollars in their back pocket. I've been around that group. They're on the older side, just because that's where a lot of the money sits with the people who've been doing this field, this work the longest. This WealthCon event was a much younger group of people. And compared to all these different mentorship groups I've been around, at WealthCon, I noticed that there was a trend. A lot of people were physically fit. I know that Alex Hormozi is one of the, bigger names for entrepreneurship online right now, and maybe just the encouragement for people to start creating gyms or be their own personal brand as personal trainers. There's good work to be had out there and good opportunity. So maybe it could have been a little bit from the Hormozi exposure, but I've noticed that there seems to be a trend of the people who are the most willing to go to the gym, put in the discipline every day, and they show the physical results are probably the same people who are willing to go to work, whether it's their own business or to their W-2 job. They're going to deliver their best and then come back the next day wanting to do even better. It's the same mentality of, you go to the gym, some days you're not going to get the results that you wanted. You're not going to see gains sometimes for months on end. And you have to be willing to change out your workout, do a little bit more on your workout, change your diet to get those results. And it's the same in business. It's a sensitive equation. It's not perfect for everybody how they do it. There's no right way to the answer. Similar to in mathematics, you can get to the same answer from multiple results or multiple processes. But in school, they're always going to teach you that there's one correct way. And when you're on this entrepreneurship journey, you're trying to find that right way. And I'm not saying that having to go to the gym is 100% part of it, but I noticed that the psychology of caring about your health continues into the rest of your life. So the gym is just a great metaphor for your mentality and for the overall health of your life. Because if you're willing to do the hard things for your body, for yourself, for your health, then you're going to be willing to do those things for your relationships, for your financial opportunities. And sorry, I muted myself. And it was a nice reminder just being around that group of people of what sacrifice looks like, how progress happens, how it's different for everybody. So I really enjoyed that part of just getting to talk to people from all over the country, all different backgrounds. I even met people who don't even reside in the United States. They're from other countries. They moved here recently and they have real estate in other countries, but now they're trying to do it in America. And so it was amazing listening to, what is the difference between doing real estate in Japan or in Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic from doing it in America. And then we talk about how they're experiencing these different barriers to entry. Just such cool conversations that really open the door to thinking new ways. My other favorite part of the entire event was I got to watch one of my favorite podcast speakers live. So Ed Mylett, I didn't know this, but apparently he has the #1 business podcast. Did not know, but I've been listening to him for years. Huge fan, mostly for the fact that he talks about the spiritual side of becoming an entrepreneur. There's He talks about like imposter syndrome. He talks about just different motivations for why people do what they do. And the centripetal theme of the day, especially driven by Ed Mylett, was, we all have a why. There's a reason why we want the money. It's not the money itself that matters. The process to make the money might just be difficult. We might hate the entire process. But if at the end of it, we know that we're able to secure a better future for our family, for our loved ones, then we'll go through all the suffering that we have to. And it's very true. Just the two greatest motivators for human beings is fear and love. And if we're making decisions based off of love, I want to make my family's life better. I want to make sure that my kids have a great education. I want to, have more time off so I can spend it with my family. Those decisions are driven by the motivator of love. Versus if you were to say like, man, I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to send my kid to college, so therefore I'm just not going to encourage them to go to college. I'm not going to start saving anything. It's just an example. It's when you have fear-based decision-making versus love-motivated decision-making, the results are going to come out entirely different. So, people will choose a W-2 job for the sake of security. It's a fear-motivated decision. And while there's nothing wrong with security or anything like that, if you are okay every single day of your life for 30 years doing the exact same thing and just coming home and watching TV for 5 hours, maybe you ordered DoorDash and then you just went to bed and you restart the cycle over and over and over again, there's an intent that's missing from your life. There is a deeper meaning of like why you're working, to how you're spending your time gets lost. And I think just listening to Ed Mylett speak on like that spiritual aspect of why are we doing anything? Why are we working? If we're so unhappy doing something, we better make it worth it, And so it's just putting those things into perspective of when you're going through life, are you trying to do it for yourself? Are you trying to do it for the benefit of your family? And yeah, super eye-opening. Okay, and I want to add something to my videos. I want to start saying what books I'm currently reading as a way to commit to making sure that I read them. Currently, I'm reading Selling the Invisible by Harry Beckwith. Really good, especially if you're working in like the services industry. I definitely want to do a review on that one because I think it spoke about, these intangible products, especially if you are, doing a service-based business, and how you can really sell your business and set yourself apart from the rest. Love it. And then I'm also reading 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. I'm a big Jordan Peterson fan, and it's just a matter of finishing the book because if you've watched Jordan Peterson, the way that he talks is very magical. I feel like he's like a Gandalf who's like casting a spell. But reading his book, it's well written, super enjoyable. But I think you have to be in a mood of being open-minded to self-criticism to read Jordan Peterson's book sometimes. I'm the type of person who wants to be constantly learning things that are about finance and the economy. So doing self-help books is a little bit more of a challenging read for me. And I don't think it's really self-help, but we'll put it in that category for lack of genre selection. That's my fault. This is my fault. So anyways, those are the two books that I'm reading. My goal for the week is I want to finish Selling the Invisible because I think there's some good value to be shared there. And going back to WealthCon, I think that just there were so many different aspects of life as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, that were touched during the event. And anybody, I think, that's in entrepreneurship, interested in real estate, should go to the event just because there's a lot of inspirational figures to meet there. If you're going through imposter syndrome, I definitely was going into the event, and all the conversations I had with people who are at different levels, whether, they are doing it with a spouse and they're struggling to do it with a spouse, or, if they're like trying to do fix and flip or land syndication. There's so many different options and tools that were there. I got new ideas on how to raise our own capital. We made a lot of referral partners and friends there. And I think with these friendships, it's about like that forward thinkingness. I think we became friends solely on the backbone of we're all there to improve. We're all there to create a better life for our families. And that was, I appreciated that the most in talking to total strangers. I have a hard time getting into like doing small talk. I can't really do small talk. So when we go out the gates and we're talking about these speakers who we really enjoyed, who basically broke the ice for us already, talking about some of the hardest subjects. Ed Mylett made the entire room cry, making us think about who was the one person in our life who believed in us and who told us that we could do it even when we felt like we couldn't do it. We all have that person, and he brought the whole room to tears. But I was able to talk about that vulnerable moment with so many other people who also were brought to tears by it. And it opens the conversation for what's going on with your family? Like, how does work and your work, your relationship with your work play into your relationship with your family? Like, are you a full-time husband and wife, or a full-time parent? Or are you a part-time parent who's coming home every day and giving your kids your leftovers? Like the leftover energy that you have, like you're too tired to play, too tired to cook dinner, and you spend all that energy making money and you don't put any of that energy back into your family, into your friends and relationships where it matters the most. So those relationships, I was talking to millionaires who, own like 5 businesses. I had no idea. I wasn't talking to them about their business. I was talking to them about their family. I was talking to them about, what did you think of your experience at the convention so far? And those were much more natural conversations to be having with people than at any other convention that I've been to, because a lot of times at conventions, it's for business. So you're there talking about, what ways can we make money? What ways can we grow our businesses? And that's great and all, but the self-development piece, like you can tell people what to do with their businesses all day. They can find that information on YouTube. But actually hitting that soul chord where they're going to leave the event and do something about it, I think WealthCon is one of the few events I've experienced that did that. I feel like my wife came home. She's trying to be an entirely different person. I want to be my best self. We're just doing things entirely different from the day that we left that convention. We're going back to the gym. And I know that's not going to be a habit that falls off for us, just because going to the gym feels good. It really does. And it makes me happy that, my wife is in a state of mind where she's enjoying it again. And similar with like business, like sometimes you're going to enjoy the gym and sometimes you're not. And with business, it's like there's going to be good days where it's like, yeah, we're doing awesome. And then days where it feels like you're a loser, like you're not going anywhere. And it's just part of the journey. But I hope that, if you haven't been to WealthCon, I'm going to attend in 2024. So I hope we can cross paths then. And let's make some new friends. If there's anything you took away from this video, I hope that you feel inspired to put a little bit more time, love, and concentration on that family time, because we only get the time we do with them. So let's cherish every second of it. Thanks for watching. Bye.